Coming up, a van in Toronto strikes a crowded sidewalk, killing 9 and injuring 16. We hear from witnesses.
And USC custodians finally settle on a contract with their employer. More on the agreement next.
And a new affordable housing proposal would allow LA leaders to stabilize the rent of some properties. We'll get reaction from both sides of the rent control issue.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
I couldn't believe what I seen, man. It was like, oh man, everybody, all these people on the streets getting hit one by one, post office box getting crumbled up on people.
A van plowed into a crowd of people in Toronto this afternoon, killing 9, then the driver took off. Canadian authorities say that driver is now in custody and his van has been found. Good evening, I'm Lauren Floyd.
And I'm Addie Stafford. The driver has been identified as 25-year-old Alec Manassian. Witnesses say he repeatedly drove his rented van onto the sidewalk to run over pedestrians. Witnesses say it all happened around 1:30. The driver was heading south on Yonge Street when he drove a rented van into the crowd at about 40 miles per hour.
I saw the van hit a man walking through the intersection. It was a green light, and he actually rolled into the road. So at that point, I ran into the middle of the road and I stopped all the cars, and then just pandemonium broke loose. Just everyone was going crazy.
Police say they don't know what the driver's motive was, but they are looking at surveillance video and listening to more witnesses as they investigate.
The man suspected of shooting and killing 4 people at a Nashville, Tennessee Waffle House is now in custody. Police arrested 29-year-old Travis Reinking this morning. Officials say Reinking killed 4 people yesterday at the Waffle House before fleeing on foot. This arrest is not the suspect's first encounter with the law. Police reports show a history of mental health concerns and legal violations. Less than a year ago, Reinking was charged with trespassing after crossing a White House barrier to meet President Trump. After that, police seized 3 rifles and a handgun from Reinking and handed them over to his father for safety. The weapons, including the AR-15 used yesterday, ended up back in Reinking's possession. He was also suspected, of stealing a BMW last week. 29-year-old James Shaw Jr. tackled Reinking inside the restaurant and wrestled the gun away from him. Officials say if it weren't for Shaw's brave actions, more lives may have been lost.
His gun either got jammed or he was trying to reload. Not exactly sure, but I saw my opportunity in my window. People say I saved a bunch of lives, but there's still, people that died, so it still kind of hurts, and I saw those people, so.
A tip led police to finding Reinking in a wooded area near his apartment after a day-long search. Authorities say he was armed with a semi-automatic and ammunition when they found him.
Former President H.W. Bush is in the hospital after contracting an infection that has spread to his blood. Bush was taken to the Houston Methodist Hospital yesterday after attending a Saturday's funeral service for his wife. The former president is reportedly responding to treatment. Today, the FCC's new proposal for internet oversight goes into effect. One more vote by the Office of Management and Budget could mean the end of net neutrality. Students on campus are concerned about the impact of the new law.
Smaller businesses or even just smaller blogs and stuff like that won't be able to compete with people that are able to pay for their stuff to be downloaded faster. I think that would be bad.
I think that's important so everyone gets the right information and doesn't have to pay to use certain sites that everyone should have a right to use.
The end of net neutrality could give internet companies the right to charge businesses a fee for faster speeds. This not only gives larger, more profitable companies an advantage over startups, but bigger businesses could make consumers pay more for internet services. We spoke with Professor Michael Overling about what it could mean for the future of the internet.
The fear is that you will see throttling. The fear is that you will see tiered internet. The fear is that you're going to have a much worse internet experience than you have had over the past 6, 7, 8 years. at least since the Obama administration. I think that these are real strong arguments why young people in particular need to start talking to their congressmen. They need to write to the president. They need to write to the FCC. They need to tell people that they want this to be free, that they want to have access, and they don't want to be in a place where it is throttled back or where they have to pay for higher tiers of service in order to get the same type of service that they have today.
There is no word yet from the OMB about when the vote to officially end net neutrality will take place, but if approved, the new law will slowly be implemented over time.
Social media has taken on a new role under President Donald Trump.
Our political correspondent Kaylee Wells brings us some analysis from here on campus. Kaylee?
Thanks, Lauren and Addie. The most recent controversial tweet from the president accused NBC journalist Chuck Todd of reporting fake news on negotiations with North Korea. In it, President Trump called Todd sleepy eyes. Today, Todd came to Annenberg and said that social media has changed the political game. Todd said that President Donald Trump's freedom to communicate through social media is unprecedented and in many ways affords him more power than his predecessors. And in general, Todd says social media creates new expectations of instant results and constant connection. And Gen Zers are leading the shift.
You just have had more incoming information. You're just better informed. You know, you may be, I might argue you may be informed the wrong way in different ways. Who knows, right? I don't know specific. But the point is that you certainly have access to more information than previous generations did. And that is going to, I think, mean you're faster to be activists. You're going to be faster. You're also going to expect change to take place faster because you've seen change happen quickly on social media. Social media protest today, you get results the next day. Oh, that person's off the air. That person's been fired. So there's this expectation of instant results. I think that will put some interesting pressure on our political system.
Todd also warned that regulations are overdue for our unchecked social media use. He says society will have to self-regulate rather than rely on the government. Back to you, Addie.
USC custodians and their subcontractor Aramark have finally come to terms for a new contract after months of protesting and negotiations. The two sides have agreed on a $2.35 hourly raise over 3 years. Their out-of-pocket contribution for health insurance cost will decrease 0.25% to 6.75%, and all employees will be given $35 towards a new pair of work shoes.
I feel very happy and content because we won after a lot of fighting and we wanted a better life for our families. We are very, very happy. I believe that we could do it because we persevered.
The wage increase comes out to 55 cents an hour over the next 3 years, retroactive to April 1st. This is the union's highest hourly wage increase in a contract.
Mayor Garcetti and other city leaders came out in support of a new statewide affordable housing measure. Annenberg Media's Madeline Otterly spoke to LA residents on both sides of the issue.
Housing is a human right, and to defend it, we will fight.
Renters and city leaders announced today they've gathered enough signatures to put a statewide Affordable Housing Act on the November ballot.
The rents are too damn high, and we need local control to solve the problem.
Now in Los Angeles, a law prevents the city from applying rent stabilization laws to buildings built after 1978. This proposed act would allow city leaders to decide which properties have rent stabilization.
We know better. On the streets where we live, in the communities that we call home.
A report from the California Housing Partnership says the county needs more than 550,000 units of affordable housing to meet demand. Opponents of the Affordable Housing Act say controlling rents can scare off developers.
They're going to leave California. All the affordable units, we're going to have more people out on Skid Row. We're going to have more housing impacted.
The same county report shows the median rent in LA has gone up 32% since 2000, but household income has actually dropped about 3%.
Rent stabilized housing costs should increase with the level of income and inflation.
Supporters of the proposal say some landlords take advantage of tenants when there is no law to stabilize rents.
They can come in, buy these properties relatively cheaply, and then get rid of the tenants and maybe do a few cosmetic improvements and then rent it for 2 or 3 times as much.
Landlords with rent-stabilized properties can still raise rents higher than laws allow, as long as the tenant agrees. But Leahy says renters might not realize what's going on.
A lot of people aren't aware of a lot of their rights around renting in the first place.
You can find out if your rent is stabilized by heading online. Just visit zmos.lacity.org, enter your address, and click on Housing. The affordable housing proposal will be decided by California voters in November. For Annenberg Media, I'm Madeline Otterly.
LA students met up with the city's mayor to talk about sustainability. We hear from the students looking to make a change.
I'm here in front of Bovard Auditorium for USC's To Meet Tank 2018. I'll have more on what that is coming up next.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Students are pitching startup ideas to a panel of judges tonight to compete for funding. Annenberg Media's JT Arose is live at Bovard, where the event will be starting soon. JT?
Me? Thanks. I'm stationed outside of Bovard Auditorium right now for USC's To Meet Tank. And what exactly is that? Well, it's USC's Shark Tank for college students, where they get to pitch their startup ideas to an investors panel. The event is actually organized by USC's own chapter of To Meet Group, and the event is currently underway right now and will be going on until 9 p.m. And one of the keynote speakers for tonight's event will be Tinder's co-founder, Jonathan Badin. And to give a little background history of To Meet Group and the event, it's an Israeli student-led nonprofit organization, and it aims to foster relationships between American business-minded students and the Israeli economy as well. We actually caught up with a ATVN and Young Academy student about her and her team's startup and trying to find out more about why they're entering To Meet Group.
Basically a pitch competition that's Shark Tank style. So they have an investor kind of like panel, and we will be pitching our capstone project that we've been working on all year within the academy.
Alan and her team are created a web app for wholesalers in retail as a part of their cap in the ATVN and Young Academy School. The set date for their app launch will be in June. We also spoke to one of the founders of the event to learn more about the vision and inspiration behind it.
Critical for USC to have To Meet Tank and other entrepreneurship-focused events, because we are one of the most entrepreneurial schools at USC, and in order to hack into that foundation and really, encourage our students to go and actually take that leap, we need to have events like this and foundations like this to actually push Trojans forward and, have the support every step of the way.
The 3 startups that will be showcasing their pitches tonight were originally selected from a pool of 10 ideas, but tonight they're competing for a cash prize in order to help fund their startup ideas. For ATVN, I'm JT Aronson.
Thanks, JT. Young scientists around the state are competing today at the 67th Annual California Science and Engineering Fair. Nearly 1,000 students in grades 6 through 12 are participating at the California Science Center. Students are presenting projects in 23 categories ranging from aerodynamics to zoology. They are competing for awards totaling $60,000. Students say they are excited to come together and showcase their work.
I love that it's a gathering of knowledge and we get to all come together with our friends and just talk about and enjoy what we've explored over this last year or so.
It's amazing to see the variety of projects that students are working on and how excited they are about them and how much they know.
The judges at the science fair are volunteers made up of 250 scientists and engineers. Thanks. Beautiful day at the Science Center today. Let's head over to Anissa
and see what the rest of the week looks like. Hope that weather continues.
So we've had beautiful weather. I mean, today was a nice day. Right now, it's 66 degrees with a high humidity of 68%. Now, if we look to tomorrow, to the Inland Empire, we'll see that Big Bear, 66 degrees, Palm Springs, a warm 96 degrees, and then San Bernardino and Riverside, both 85 degrees. Now, if we head towards the valley, we'll see that Simi Valley, 79 degrees, Northridge, 83 degrees, and then Malibu, a low 64 degrees. Now, if we head over right here to USC, we'll see that Glendale and Pasadena, both 80 degrees, USC, 76 degrees, and then Long Beach, a low 68 degrees. Now, for your 5-day forecast, we'll see that the next 5 days are going to be very warm, beautiful days, not too many clouds, not too much wind, and so we will get back to our LA weather. Now, if you plan on staying in California for the next few decades, you may want to think again. In a study by UCLA climate experts, it's predicted California will experience extreme alternating dry and wet climate. The study also claims we could experience extreme flooding. I spoke with the USC climate expert to see if California is ready.
Is California ready for this? The answer is no, because California and the infrastructure of water management in California was based on the idea of a stationary climate. That is to say, a climate that does not change very much. And now, because of what we're doing to our atmosphere with the burning of fossil fuels, we're actively changing our atmosphere. We're going to have to plan for this sort of thing. But that's the value of a study like this, is that it enables decision makers to make educated decisions about the kinds of infrastructure changes that are needed.
Lucky for us, experts say it's not too late to reverse the predicted extreme climate, but it will take a lot of work.
Well, thanks so much, Anissa. Good to be aware of those extreme conditions. Thanks. In celebration of Earth Day, Mayor Garcetti spoke with LAUSD students today about how to make a positive impact on the environment. An event at the mayor's home brought together local middle and high school students to discuss the city's sustainability goals.
Our relationship with water, our relationship with power, we have to fundamentally rethink those. But the good news is, you listen to these young people here today, they're on the cutting edge. This isn't just an issue area, it's a part of their life. Earth Day now is a symbol of the biggest crisis we've ever faced as human beings, this planet, and whether we can sustain it and continue to live on it.
Mayor Garcetti gave a presentation on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals before listening to students' speeches about how they can lower food waste within their communities.
Our goal is for more schools to create more opportunities like this to welcome incoming students.
Every single one of us is here today because we see the importance of creating a better Los Angeles and a better world. The next step is going out there and changing it. Thank you.
The event was hosted by the Getty House Foundation, which focuses on bringing students, veterans, and technological innovators together to help better the LA community. Well, I heard that USC football is in the news again.
Yes, our sports anchor, Mary Page, has all the scoop as always.
I do. I've got you guys, Lauren. We look into the Todd McNair trial that happened today to learn more about his allegations against the NCAA. Then women's water polo is heating up the pool again. We'll tell you why they're in prime position for another NCAA championship. And one USC beach volleyball player has found just as much success in the books as on the sand. All that coming up.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles. What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Mary Paige Nussfetter, and we begin sports tonight live at Dodger Stadium, where it's USC night. Our reporter Sarah McGrew is there to tell us what's going on. Sarah?
The boys in blue are taking on the Marlins for USC night at Dodger Stadium tonight. Fans are swapping their blue for Cardinal gold, and once inside the stadium, fans can pick up a USC-themed Dodger t-shirt. I talked to James Johnston earlier about what he thinks is so special about this night.
I think seeing other USC people here with and the fact that they do the kind of co-branding where they do the Dodger logo but in the USC colors makes it kind of fun.
Right. What are you most excited for tonight?
I just, I'm on our social club, so I kind of like getting the group together, seeing everybody having a good time at the stadium and have fun.
Well, there's sure to be a lot of Trojans in the stands. A AAA player, Walker Buehler, is set to make his MLB debut on the mound tonight. Mary Paige, back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. Now, opening statements began today in the Todd McNair trial against the NCAA. McNair is alleging that the NCAA defamed him, cost him his job, and derailed his career based off a, quote, recklessly constructed record, end quote, put together by the NCAA in the Reggie Bush case from 2010. The case was originally filed in 2011 and seeks damages for libel, slander, breach of contract, and negligence. McNair previously spent 6 seasons as an assistant football coach at USC, but his contract was never renewed after the NCAA allegations, which stated that he knew what Bush was involved in. Women's water polo easily maintained their #1 spot with a senior night win over UCLA last Saturday, beating the Bruins 11-5. I caught up with freshman phenom Paige Hochschild about the legacy left behind by these 8 seniors.
They've really been role models for all of us underclassmen, and I think that they've left an amazing legacy for this team and some big shoes to fill next year. But I mean, they're amazing, and so anything we can do to imitate what they do on a daily basis is great.
Riding the momentum of their last 11 wins, the women of Troy head into the MPSF tournament this weekend with a first-round bye. They will play in the semifinal round starting at 12:45 this Saturday in Berkeley, hoping to make it to the final round on Sunday. USC will host the NCAA tournament starting May 11th. And as always, we've got your spring sports roundup. Track and field had another record-breaking weekend at the Mount Sac Relays. It's hard to believe that there are records that they haven't broken yet. The women's 4x100 relay set a new USC record of 42.57. Freshman TT Terry also broke the school record in the 100-meter dash with a time of 10.99. And finally, sophomore Michael Norman Jr. and Rye Benjamin each ran a new PR in the 400. Women's beach volleyball senior Jo Kramer is being recognized for hitting the books just as hard as she hits those volleyballs. Today, she was named the Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The communications major boasts a 3.72 GPA and has been named to the Pac-12 All-Academic Team twice. And finally, men's tennis wrapped up regular season play with a sweep of Utah last Saturday, earning them the #3 seed in the upcoming Pac-12 tournament. They enter the tournament on Thursday to defend their title as national champions. And if you think baseball games are long enough as it is, get a load of this. The record for longest at-bat in history was just made yesterday when Brandon Belt went to bat for the San Francisco Giants and ended up staying there for 21 pitches, 16 fouls, in a total of 12 minutes. The footage is actually quite mesmerizing. Not necessarily a record many people will strive to break anytime soon, I'm guessing, but Lauren and Addie, back to you.
Her dog is this little girl's best friend. We show you how her canine friend brought her home.
And the royal family is welcoming their newest member.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
迷惑ボーイ。
ここはなんとかしなくちゃ。スーパーカインドの交通機関案内。When you ride on the bus or rail, don't eat popcorn, meat, or kale. Food can smell and it makes a mess. Keep LA Metro clean and fresh. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them. Come along with me, let's go. It's time to ride on the Metro. When eating food causes problems, you know Superkind will be there to solve them.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge welcomed a new baby boy this morning. This is the third child and second boy for Prince William and Kate Middleton. The royal couple introduced the unnamed baby on the steps of St. Mary's Hospital in London. The newest family member will be fifth in line to the throne. There are bets on the baby being named Arthur, Albert, James, or Philip.
Dogs aren't just a man's best friend. Last Friday night, a dog named Max protected a 3-year-old girl after she got lost in Australia's rugged bushland. The girl's family is thankful Max led them to her.
The dog kept pulling her towards the lights last night, but she said I held him and we slept together. So she slept with the dog.
I don't think I'll doubt that dog ever again.
Blind. He has been declared an honorary police dog for his loyalty. Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Addie Stafford.
And I'm Lauren Floyd. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.
Great job, you guys.